if he doesn't let these kids play. I'm not saying Musa is the next six man of the year or most improved type of player, but he could score. If he can do anything, he could score. And I'm just worried that Kenny is not going to change. That if he didn't see the opportunity tonight, that this is going to be a nightly thing where we're mad, where we're second guessing him. And I have to wonder, is this the coach that's going to lead us to the promised land? And
Well,
I'm not sold
there's
yet.
listen, there's a magnifying glass on him now because it's not where any wins are gravy anymore. The question now with Atkinson is not whether he's a good coach. He is. There's a lot of good coaches, though.
Yeah.
The question is, like you said, can he be the guy to win a title with? And look, we won't know that until he's, in those series and, they get Durant back and all that stuff. So we're going to have to wait a while, but he's going to be judged more critically. There's more eyes on the Nets now, and our expectations have changed. Whereas, so last year they won 42 games. We're just happy to be there. That is out the window. So, yeah, we're going to have to watch him. He should give this – if he thinks this is the best group and their analytics, fine with that backup group. Give it 5 games, but you'd like to see him eventually make the change if it continues not to work.
Yeah, no, I'm not accepting it. Like you said, 45 wins. For all of the hoopla, for all of the excitement, for all of the praise, I've got to have 50 wins.
Why? That's the most wins the Nets have ever won in their franchise. So you have to kind of keep that in the back of your mind that the best team in that history, I think, won 50-32, maybe 52-30 that first year with Jason Kidd. That's franchise record territory, and this might be a lot like the first year with, or I guess the only year with Pierce and Garnett, where I don't think we'll get as down as that team, but we might play 500 basketball for a longer period of time than we want until the eventual run goes. And then they finish that season on an upswing. So maybe they're a 5 seed that won 46 games, but they were 30-16 over their last 46 games, and they're going into the postseason playing their best basketball.
All right, so I'm going to go through the next 5 games, and you're going to give me a prediction.
Yeah. Okay.
Nets Knicks.
So I know the Knicks, too. They're going to win that game on Friday night.
You feel really good about that?
Yeah, I do. I watched the end of the Knicks. It looks like they battled pretty hard. I saw Julius Randle limp off. He did not come back in the game. He may not be out there. And, yeah, I think just the Nets are just a better team. I think they'll win on Friday.
My concern with that is style makes fights. I'm worried that they'll just throw out a bunch of bigs, score down low easy. Like one of those guys is going to have an Enes Kanter type of game. And, Marcus Morris is going to go out of his mind and squeak out a win because we keep, doing these sets with, pulling these lineups where we're playing Garrett Temple and Nwaba at the same time. And I'm not mad at Nwaba. I didn't like the addition, but he's all right. It's just it's overkill. Like I don't understand why the two of them have to play together.
Yeah, if there's a Randy Foy in this team, it's him. It's not Temple, in my opinion.
I like Nwaba. Nwaba's physical. He's the closest to PJ Tucker that we got. Next one, Memphis Grizzlies.
They'll win that game.
They should win that game. But that
right.
kid, what's his name? Jaren Jackson. He gave us he scored 32 on us the last time we saw him.
Yeah. They lost by 17 tonight in Miami without Butler.
They're trash.
Yeah, we'll be okay there.
They're definitely trash, but again,
3 after that.
I'm coming to the next one.
I think it's the Pacers at home.
That's right. It's the Pacers at home. What do you think about that one?
Who were the next 2 after it?
All right, so you had the Pacers, the Rockets,
and
the Pistons.
So we go 3-1 over that 4-game stretch. after starting with the Grizzlies, and we're at 4. What would that put us at 4-2?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So no, it's Knicks would be a win. That's 1-1. Then you have the Pacers, Rockets, and Pistons. You go 2-1 there, put you at 3-2.
Can I tell you something real? I think they have the best shot beating the Rockets. The Nets do very well when against teams that do the same things that they do.
Correct.
And so since there won't be anybody really big just dominating them, they'll Kyrie and it's going to be a lot of fireworks in that game, and it's going to go down to who outperforms who in the Kyrie versus Harden Bowl. And I think they have a better chance of winning that game than some of the other games that come before it. I don't want to be 500 by the time we reach the Pistons. That's danger area for me.
It's too early. I mean, you can't be that worried this early to be 2-2 after 4 games. You know, you've seen it. You've seen it in the past. Teams stumble out of the gate.
That's who the Nets are. They start off the season shitty. The All-Star breaks comes. They have some kind of mea culpa, some spiritual awakening. Somebody returns from injury or whatever the hell. And then they go on a tear for 2 months after the All-Star break, and they pull closer to 500. This team cannot be a 42-win team, because let's say they brought back D'Lo, and then they got a big, like some way somehow they got some kind of sensible.
Julius Randle.
Let's say
then you just capped out. You're never going to win a title with that roster.
They would not. No, listen. This is all I'm saying. If you got Julius Randle, added him to the team, and then added all the other little things that they added, except for DeAndre Jordan, and they kept Eric.
Right.
They kept Ed OG. They kept Ed Davis. Right.
Ed Davis.
That team would win 46 to 49 games. 49
right,
games.
So would you rather have that team that wins 46 to 49?
Hold on, Ben.
Or this team wins 44 with Durant in tow?
Ben, hear what I'm saying. If we did all of that to just be the same, to just be the Deron Williams Nets, because the next year is not even promised to you. You don't even know what's going to happen the next year. I'm excited. Like, I'm looking at Kyrie look unstoppable. Watching him play with our uniform on is one of the most pleasing sights that I've ever seen as a Net fan. Besides the Deron Williams 57-point game, because
give me a break with that shit.
Listen,
screw Deron Williams.
I was a Knicks fan. Do you understand? I never had that, and the only moment like that I had in for 30 years was when I wasn't even a fan of theirs, was the Melo 61 game. Like that, like to have seen that happen, it was a fun thing to say. See, now I'm not saying Deron Williams is all the things that you think he is. Just sucker shit. I'll never not agree with that, right? But I'm just saying that's the only moment like that I had, and now I got it with Kyrie, and I get to think about having Durant be a part of it. But
exactly.
But it's only something to think about. You know what I mean? I'm still
for now,
in the same place. We're still that meat. It's like smoking regular weed for years and years and years. Like, why would
we can still be punked, inside? That's going to continue. I think you have to look at the Nets that they're 2 players away. They're an Ibaka and an Iguodala type wing defender away from being able to kind of roll the ball out and beat anybody.
That is exactly the guy they need. They need an Iguodala type that you could throw him on LeBron in a playoff series, and then punish them on the other side with Durant. Durant, you want. I want to create the most perfect scenario for Durant to come into games and just destroy dudes. And then
Just score.
when people just try to take him away, then Kyrie just guts you. Like, well, the possibilities are
Right.
just incredible if they can just fix those little things. Like, they need a shit house. They need a
Look, even
dude.
the Heat, even that Heat team that came together needed one more offseason
Yep.
to find their way out. And it's just, look, it's the hardest sport to win in because you literally have to be the
Perfect.
best team, or
Yeah.
you have to, or you have to make it there like Toronto did, and the other team loses one of the best players in the world. The
Yeah.
best team wins in basketball.
And
The 7-game series is designed for it.
and Toronto is the team that really makes me like looking at their blueprint. I wouldn't. Part of me would love to be Toronto. You get the ring. I would hate to be Toronto too because you lose the guy. But
Well, I'd
here's the
sign up
thing.
for the ring.
Here's I'd sign up for the ring too. Here's the thing though. Ujiri was smart. He understood that in order to win a championship, you're going to have Giannis stoppers. And he
Right.
went and he could have stayed put with Valanciunas. He could have fell in love with his young player and got stuck there. He went out and got Gasol and
Right.
Ibaka. He paid the price for them, and those guys absorbed all of those Giannis dribble drops. Like they turned.
But that's kind of where the Nets are. The Nets are in the spot where they're that move away, and they have the draft picks still to do it. They have the contracts. They have enough young players that can help teams. That's where they are. They need to find their Memphis, who has a Gasol, and is like, this guy no longer helps us. Barely helps us now, and he doesn't help us in the future. And he's not a huge commodity like Gasol was. He's not the player he was. It only made sense for a few teams to get him. And then that's when you go make your move. And I just would be shocked if Marks doesn't realize that and won't pounce on it when the opportunity comes. I can't say how he's come this far and been this smart to not realize that that's the final piece.
He has to be ruthless. Like tonight didn't mean anything, but it meant a lot. It meant a lot on what the corrections that he has to make with Kenny and Kenny's awareness. The other reason why he has to play Musa is because one of those two guys are going to get hurt in Garrett or Nwaba. They're going to get one nagging injury, and then they're going to drag Musa in, and he's not going to be ready. If you could let that young player give you 15-point nights, he's going to save you some games.
And you're building a trade asset.
And you're building a trade asset, exactly. It does nothing for you to just throw Garrett Temple out there because he's not going to make a mistake.
Right.
It doesn't make sense, and I'm hoping, like my addition that does both of the things that you want, and you've heard me say this a million times.
Aaron Gordon.
I don't think there's a way to get him, but if they could have added that guy to this, he is their Draymond Green. He is like the Nets have a major problem with being able to run out and finish on fast breaks. Karras is not good at it. Taurean Prince is not good at it. Joe Harris is not good at it. And your point guard and your center is who starts the break with either a tip or a block shot. And there's nobody who can run and dunk. If you get Aaron Gordon, you got a guy who wants to be on NBA All Defense, who's physical and who can run up and down the court and dunk and finish easy baskets. We don't finish easy baskets. They miss like 5 layups in a row.
If you want Gordon, you're going to have to give up LeVert.
So here's my Gordon trade. I was going to save this. I was going to keep this in my bag. But my Gordon trade it's Prince, it's picks, and it's Dinwiddie. I think Dinwiddie is a part of what makes us good, but another reason why I feel like they need